Thanks to those joining me live and to those that be joining me on the archive. I'm live again because I can. I'm live again because I want to. I'm live again because I felt like it. Right? Um, this whole thing, it's just getting worse and worse for Claressa Shields. It's getting worse by the day. It's getting worse. And you know what? Not only shame on Claressa, which there is shame on Claressa, shame on all the people out there that are co-signing what she be saying, are co-signing what she's saying blindly, are just believing what she says, or going along with it because for whatever reason that they want her clout or attention, whatever the fuck it is. I don't personally care. When you're wrong, you're wrong. When what you're saying is bullshit, it's bullshit. If it smells like shit, it smells like shit. If it's full of crap, it's full of crap. You know, and look, I understand I'm preaching to the choir. Most of my audience understands she's full of shit. I completely understand that. I understand I'm not like really speaking to anybody that I could convince, but I know there's some silent watchers out there. All right. You see, the main problem I have with this whole situation is not it's not just the mere fact that Claressa Shields sounds ridiculous. All right. Saying she could beat up male fighters like Keith Thurman and all. It's not just that, because a lot of this is like an onion. You got to peel it in. It has layers. Okay. You peel it in layers. And a lot of this, that's a lot of what's going on is so ridiculous, right? I can't quite understand why there's individuals out here that are just believing Claressa Shields blindly and without question. They're just taking her side of the story, even if it makes no sense. Like, let me just say something. And Derek Santos has come out. He just did an interview. I saw it a little bit ago on Pro Box TV. You guys can check that out. But here's the thing. And there was a statement that was put out. I don't know from where, but people took screenshots of it and put it everywhere. I believe it was, I don't know if it was Instagram or Facebook, whatever it was, but there's a screenshot of it. The issue is the following. Even if Derek Santos said nothing, even if the fighter never released the footage, even if the fighter never said anything, even if the other side stayed quiet, I still don't understand how anyone can believe Claressa Shields' side of the story. Even with it's one of those instances where even if the other side says nothing, and you use critical thinking, and you just use your common sense, you'll realize that none of it is adding up. Like, her story doesn't add up. Okay, logically, it does not add up. Her story. I knew it was a lie before I even like saw the statements from Derek Santos. Like, I knew right away she was full of shit. Like, that's why it's astonishing to me seeing the number of people that are saying things like, "Oh my God, they did that! Oh, they should be banned." Ashley Theophane, a former pro fighter, just taking her word for it. Like, what are you doing? You're going to take her word for it blindly. This is amazing. Let's start from the very beginning. The story starts with, I beat the shit out of a male fighter so bad. I embarrassed him. I made short work of him. I made him look foolish. I destroyed him. I embarrassed him. That's how the story, like, just right there. It doesn't give you pause. Like, you don't take a second to say, like, really? Like what? Well, who was this fighter? Then you realize, okay, it's a guy with a winning record. Did that happen? Like no one stops and says, Nobody like for a second. You don't take a second to say, I don't know, Claressa. Like the story is already not adding up. The story's a little weird, right? Already. Like that's already like a hard thing to believe. Like before, even if nothing else was said, all she said was, "I beat the fuck out of a sparring partner. I embarrassed them." Even if you're welcome, Remy. I appreciate the support, brother. This is Thanks for Between Pro Box interview. Yeah, everybody should check it out. Okay, I think everything was said right there. To be honest with you, here's the thing. Even if there was nothing else to the story, that's all she said. Like you would have to stop and be like, man, Claressa Shields beat the like. Even in her fights, does she outbox these girls? Yes. But it's not like she's landing like nonstop combinations and busting up their face like that. Or like, but when you're telling me that she's doing this in sparring against a male fighter, like right there alone, it should make you pause right away. Like right there, that should already make you be like, man, like, well, who the hell were you boxing? Like, you know what I mean? Who are you fighting? Who are you fighting? Huh? Like what? And then, like, the story becomes more and more like crazy to believe. So first, you have to start off. This story starts with her beating the hell of a pro fighter, a male, so bad that he was so embarrassed. That's where it starts, right? And then, like a week later, a couple of days later, whenever it was, the second sparring session, right? If it was, who knows? I don't know. I don't know what to believe about Claressa Shields' story now. I don't know if it was the first, second, third. It doesn't matter. But the next sparring session, that you have to believe. You have to start off with believing that she beat the hell out of a male sparring partner. Like that, the story already, it's already a hard one to swallow. Like it's already kind of like, man. And then we jump from that to they conspired and wore some illegal gloves with no padding, right? In order to get back to her for the embarrassment that happened the first time this sport. She didn't just give them that work. She embarrassed them. All right? I'm already having a hard time with the story from the beginning, but now the next step is that they got some gloves. They took out the padding, right? I guess they sewed it back up or something. And you have to believe that he put on those gloves and sparred her again because he was so embarrassed the first time that he had to get back to her to say, like, just I want you to just think for a second from the very beginning how crazy the story sounds, and then it gets more crazy, right? And then you're expected to believe. After it happened, you're expected to believe he embarrassed the pro fighter. He comes back. They conspire. They took out the padding. They do a quote-unquote rematch. And now, because he was so embarrassed, he had to get her back with and had to hurt her. And he was so embarrassed that he committed a crime, taking out the padding of the gloves. And the trainer helped him do it, apparently, right? And they go back, right, to get her back without padding. And then that's already, again, hard to believe, very hard to believe. And then we're not even done. The next step is she said nothing because it would jeopardize her fight. Right? Hold on, man, I have a scratch, bro. God damn. Anyway, you ever have anyway, you're expected to believe, guys, that she didn't say anything because she had a fight coming up. It could have jeopardized her fight. She doesn't explain why. And maybe that third part isn't as hard to believe as the other two. But we're just adding layers here. Like, it's another thing that's like, well, why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you go public with it? Right? And I'm watching, and there's anyway. And then we're expected to believe, right? We're over here, right? We're expected to believe that that she didn't say anything after the fact. Even though this happened to her, right? They took out padding that she knows for a fact, she says. And she said nothing after her fight. She just stayed quiet about it. Said nothing. They used amateur safety gloves, then 16 ounce. I did hear that. Thank you, Remy. I appreciate the support, brother. So you're expected to believe that she beat up a sparring partner, male sparring partner, so bad, embarrassed them so bad, in a way that we don't even see her doing in pro fights, by the way, with women. But okay, fine. And then you're expected to believe that they took out the padding to get back to her, and then you're expected to believe that she said nothing before the fight because it would like, I guess, ruin the promotion of the fight. They would call off the fight. I don't know what. And then you're expected to believe that she said nothing after the fact. And say quiet for a year, said nothing about it. And then you're expected to believe the individual that tweeted out in 2021, 2 years ago, I never been hurt in sparring, she said. Denying claim that she's been dropped. Denying claim that she's been hurt. You're expected to believe that individual. And when the footage comes out that she was hurt and was dropped, all of a sudden she wants to flip the script. All of a sudden, she now starts saying, this is boxing. Yeah, I've been hurt. I seen stars and a heavyweight hit me in my jaw. I couldn't eat. And all of a sudden, you have been hurt. The individual that keeps changing her story about whether or not she's been hurt in sparring, the individual that's been changing her story whether or not she's been dropped, changing her stories up and down. Now, oh, people get dropped all the time, she says, all of a sudden. A lot of this isn't adding up, guys. And the last time I went live about that, I said, use Occam's razor. Which story is the easiest one to tell with the least assumptions, with the least amount of leaps? You know what I mean? That, or do you instead believe that a dude just dropped her in sparring? You know what I mean? That she didn't do all the things she claims she did to this guy. She wasn't styling on him, embarrassing him, and this, that, and the third. And that maybe they just had a sparring session. They were just working. That maybe she was talking a little too much trash, and he got to a point where like maybe had a moment of like, fuck this shit, and countered her, right, and dropped her. And then look at her attitude going into all this, bro. Karma Serene says, for your litigation fund, I appreciate the support, Karma. I guess so. I guess I'm going to get sued. I guess because she's suing everybody that shared the video or talks about it or whatever, right? The only thing she could do to me is be like, oh, don't give them credentials to my fights. That's all she could do. Well, I ain't going to your fights anyway. You know what I mean? I rarely watch your fights live anyway. I don't give a fuck. All right? And here's the thing. So Rolly Romero comes out. He says, oh, that guy's a piece of shit. I'm glad I knocked that guy out because look at what he did to Claressa, a woman. Right? So when the footage came out, people were going at him, right? Oh, what a piece of shit. How do you dare he do that to a woman? Like, everyone that's defending Claressa Shields saying, why is this guy release that? Why would you release that? What are you showing off about? I'm getting tired of these clips of sparring. I'm this and I'm that. And like all that, that's what was being said. Ebony Bridges said, oh, why would he release that footage? What are you bragging about, dropping a woman? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what they were saying, but like, Claressa is the one that shut all that down. Claressa Shields shut that down. She told Raleigh Romero, "Hey, no fault. I don't really need lawyer funds, but no, it's a joke. It's a joke. She's being Carmen Serena is being sarcastic because Shields said she was going to sue anybody that shares the footage of her getting dropped and all that. Like she's going to give them a letter of defamation and block them and stuff like that. So that's what that's about. But no, I don't need lawyer fees, guys. I'm not paying lawyer. Yeah, but anyway, um, but here's the thing. I don't know if both things like she's threatening to sue people that share the footage. Oh, okay, my bad. Okay. No, I just want to make sure I make that clear. I don't want people to start giving me super chats. Oh, he's getting sued by Claressa. Let me give him no, I don't need, like, I'm good. You know what I mean? But here's the thing, bro. What the fuck? Claressa comes out. Shout out to MAW from Australia. Hello, fans. East South chat, subscribe, share, smash the like button, folks. I appreciate the support, brother. Much appreciated. Okay, I appreciate that. Here's the thing. So Raleigh's coming to her defense. These female fighters are coming to her defense. Dudes are coming to her defense. They're like, why is that guy really say? Well, what is he bragging about? Dropping a woman? What a piece of shit! Like, that's their angle, right? And then she comes out. Shields shuts that down. She starts talking shit to Raleigh. Who you defending? You ain't defending shit. You suck, Raleigh. I'll beat the fuck out of you. I'll box you. You got no skills. All you got is power. All Thurman's got power. You two should fight each other, and I could outbox the both of you. Like this is some crazy ass shit. Like bobbing her head and shit. Like and doing this. Like when you do this doesn't make. All right. Let me actually do this. By the way, hold on. All right, this right here, doing this doesn't make your point more true, okay? I don't want women do that, but when you do this, it doesn't make your point true, guys. You don't add percentage of truth when you do this. It's just fucking annoying. That's all it is, okay? Yeah, let me tell you something right now. Like it means nothing, okay? And I have to take off because I know the noise cancellation was probably echoing with that one or cutting off. But here's the thing. Yeah, Fulton, my words could be used against me. It is what it is. Here's the thing. Sue me. Okay, I don't give a here's the thing. All you could do, Claressa, the only thing you can do is tell people tell your handlers to not give me credentials to your fight. That's all you could fucking do. There's nothing else you could do, but I don't want to go to your fights anyway. Right? So I don't give a shit. Karma's like, it adds more spice to the conversation. Maybe, but it doesn't add truth. Okay? Going like that and say you could beat up Raleigh doesn't make it true. Going like that and say you could beat up Keith Thurman doesn't make it true. Okay? And I'll tell, but yeah, it does add spice. But it only works when women do it. Don't be a dude and do that. I'm just saying. But with that said, okay? I'm telling you right now, she comes out, she starts saying, I don't need protection from anybody. I was beating the fuck out of that dude. He cheated. He took out the padding. You guys should be talking about the padding. Like, she doesn't want people to defend her honor and say, like, oh, poor woman was beat up by a dude. Because she thinks she could beat up these dudes. Like, she thinks, like that's what she thinks. Like, I used to think she was trolling guys. I used to think, okay, she doesn't believe this shit. She's just publicity, whatever. No, like I think she actually believes that when these male fighters are holding back, that she thinks she's in there styling on them or something. Like I honestly believe it. I think she believes that shit. So like I'm just saying. So she goes off on Raleigh when all Raleigh was saying, yo, I'm glad I knocked that dude out for doing that to Claressa. You know what I mean? Like, well, why is he like, what is showing off about? Like knocking down a woman? Like Claressa's actually offended when people say that. People say, "Why'd you do that to Clarissa's delusional ass?" is actually offensive to her because she doesn't think she's delusional. Like she actually believes she could beat Keith Thurman. That is some dangerous thinking. Like it just is. But her, like the reason, like her ego is the problem here. This whole thing is about egos. The whole it's all about ego. That's all of it. Ego, ego, ego. That's all it is. Now I wasn't there. Now from the interview I heard on Pro Box, the footage is out there, and at least around, I believe. I don't know how long of it they have, but they have some footage of the first sparring, the second. So it's going to be put out there at some point, I assume, right? But I mean, Claressa Shields believes what she's saying. Like, she believes she could fight men. Okay? That's what she believes. It is what it is. You know? There is your music. Life will always find a way to humble you. Hey, thanks so much for the support, brother. Much appreciated. And I agree. Situations will humble you. But the problem is when you're in denial. I think Claressa Shields was dropped, and maybe she never felt a punch like that. Maybe she was like, "What the fuck was that?" Right? And she must have questioned it. It's not that crazy. Like Cintron thought it was headbutted by Sergio Martinez, and it turned out, you would look at the footage, it was a punch, right? So like I'm sure she felt something she never felt before because men hit harder than women. Okay? A lot harder. And this is a pro fighter hitting her. And I think she went down, and her only explanation, because she keeps saying, "I've been boxing for so many years. I've only been knocked down. I was only knocked down once, and I fought a heavyweight, and even though I couldn't eat, I didn't go down like that." Like, here's the problem: how many of those dudes really went on her? How many of those dudes were told, "Yo, whether explicitly or it just says an understanding, don't go all out on her," right? I am an individual. I align things. Alignment is important to me, right? I align things, guys. Like when I find alignment in something, Big Dog Willie, I appreciate the support. Brother Carissa's playing the bad girl, and to me, two girl, all at the same time. It's a play to make. It's a play to get more money. Her ego is big, but to me, it's just a game. I appreciate the support. The problem is that the livelihood of the people she's accusing of a crime is not a game. That is a problem. That's why I'm obsessed with making these videos. I'm on the outside looking in. I believe in justice. That's me. I understand life's not fair. I understand shit's not balanced in life, but I still believe in justice. And whatever I could tilt to one side, whatever little bit I could move in the needle, I will do it. That's me. I've always believed in that. I don't like to see an injustice happen. I don't like to see baseless accusations occur, regardless of the situation. I am against that. I don't care. I don't give a fuck who it's happening to. I don't even care. If it's somebody I don't like, I still don't like it. Because I believe in justice. Alignment. I believe in alignment. See, I'm not an appeal to authority type person, right? However, if a series of authority figures say something in a certain field, right? And I see that it's aligning, that's a pattern I look at, and something I kind of I heed to very strongly, right? If you watch the if you watch the interview with Derek Santos on Pro Box TV, I recommend everybody to watch that. I don't even think another interview is necessary. I think that one's good, and that's that. But nonetheless, it's there. It's a really good interview. If you go and check it out, Derek Santos talks about something specific, right? He talks, I work with female fighters and male fighters, and he mentioned something that sounded very familiar. Something I heard somebody else say in a show. My co-host Christine Lopez said, who's also a coach, works with the kids in the Olympics, right? The Olympic team, and she trains pro boxers as well, right? Works with men and women, and it's just something that sounded very eerie, familiar, and the same. And the one thing that was said was they like to they make sure that the men that work with the women understand that it's work and they're going to do good work with the female fighter. That they're not going to just blast out and go all out on the female. Okay? They know how to work with female fighters. They understand like what their job is in that situation. They understand the assignment, right? So I couldn't align with that. And it's not the only two trainers I've heard say that, right? So what does that tell me? The obvious. Whether a male fighter is told, hey, she's a female, take it easy on her, or whether it's just understood because trainers select male fighters that know how to spar with female fighters. Okay? You got to find a sweet spot. You can't hold back so much that you become relatively ineffective to work with her. But you can't go all out to where you're going to hurt her. You got to find that sweet spot. And there's certain fighters, and it's from my understanding, from what they're saying, that know how to work with the female fighter, right? They're going to do just enough to give her work, good work, but but not enough to where it becomes, like, okay, now you're hurting her, now you're doing damage. You know what I mean? Shout out to Remy Shields' team declining interviews says a lot. Absolutely. 100%. If I was her manager, I wouldn't know what the fuck to say either. So I would be outies too, but it is what it is. Okay. Um. So here's the thing. And I know this is like quite like a crazy to think, but I believe that Shields believes like these male fighters are like sparring like they always do against the guys. I don't think she understands that a lot of them are just holding back and just trying to give her work to help her. I I know that sounds crazy, but I don't think she understands that from what I'm gathering. She's talking about a sparring session like if it was a fight. Okay? Like, oh, I embarrassed him so bad. And you go back to the clip, she's talking shit to him while she's like, she's like strutting, like coming forward, talking shit, and she gets knocked down. I mean, do I need to say anything else? She is literally, this woman is I'm telling you, man, she's delusional. Dangerously delusional. To the point where she's accusing a former sparring partner of taking out the padding because he hurt her and knocked her down. Now, nobody goes all out in sparring, so I think she has an understanding maybe they're not going all out. But I don't think she understands that they're just working with her. I don't think she understands that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. And what she is doing in the process, keep in mind, this is boxing, right? Big Dog would have just said, this is boxing. It is boxing. It's a sport with egos. It's a masculine sport. It's a sport. It's one of the toughest sports in the world, right? And here's the story that's easier to believe, in my opinion. I think he was working with her. and she was probably bad mouthing him, talking shit. And he was like, he kept his ego in check. I'm here to work, whatever. The second time came around, right? And they're sparring. And then she kept doing it, kept talking shit, emasculating him, like over and over again, trying to clown on him. And maybe he had a moment where he said, fuck this bitch. And he lost his cool and got her with a counter and dropped her. Now, there's a debate to have, right? That should he have done that, right? Some will say, he shouldn't have done it. It looks wrong. A man hitting a woman like that, don't do that, right? But there's others who are going to say, you know what? Like, she asked for it, right? I don't know where I'm at, to be honest. Like, I think what he probably should have done was just say, you know what? I don't want to work with this girl. Like, I'm out, right? That's probably would have been maybe. I don't know. I'm not in that situation, but you can't go out of your way to try to emasculate these male fighters that have egos, right? And they're in this really masculine sport, and you're playing with fire when you do that. There's only so much self-control. Because listen closely to what Coach Christine said, Coach Derek Santos said, and like I've heard other trainers say, we know who to pick. We're like Christine told me yesterday, for those that have a show with their hot box topics, she said, like, I know which male fighters to go to work with women fighters. There's other male fighters, I wouldn't even go there. Because the girl's going to clip them, and they're going to lose their cool, and they're going to go all out on her. I don't need that, right? So you're already selecting guys that you know are going to have a certain level of self-control, right? You already know the certain male fighters, you're not even going to like, it's what, like, okay, and that dude, I ain't going to have him spar the women, because the moment Claressa Shields calls him a pussy, he's going to like he's going to lose his cool, and we don't need that, right? I mean, that means you're already in a world where you're playing with fire. Shout out to Blood Boxing, Retro Boxing Document. Shout out to you, sir. Joe Lopez 40 ounce. How's it going? And I know I saw Lady Chen somewhere. Shout out to her. And yeah, there he is. MAW, how's it going? Lennox was best. Shout out to you. At some point, you can't just be P words and B words and just like with someone that's there to help you, right? And apparently a lot of people had an issue with him because, again, they came out and they were like Ebony Bridges, like, how could why would you put that video out there? Like, wow, you knocked out a woman with such a big guy. Wow. Like they were shaming the male fighter for doing it. But Claressa Shields, as I mentioned, is the one that shut down that argument. Claressa Shields got mad at people saying that. She said, how dare your protection? How do you guys feel sorry for me? I was beating the shit out of this dude, she said. That's delusion, bro. Like I'm just telling you right now, this woman's delusional. She's over here, she's over here saying, Raleigh, next time I see you, I'll beat the shit out of like, what? That's a threat, bro. After Raleigh, all Raleigh did was say, why did he do that to Shields? I'm glad I knocked this fucker out for doing that to Claressa Shields. Like, what a piece of shit doing that to a woman. And Shields got mad at him and said, well, you ain't protecting me. I beat the fuck out of you, Raleigh. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And Raleigh even said, oh, you know what? Hey, I'll delete the post. I don't want any problems. Okay, whatever. I'll let it be. And then she's still talking shit. Oh, next time I see you, you're gonna see what are you gonna do to Raleigh? You're gonna go up to him and beat him up? And is Raleigh just supposed to let himself get hit? Are people gonna get on Raleigh if he hits her back? Are you gonna get on Raleigh? Can somebody explain this to me? And she's doing this shit again. This is shit she be doing. All right? Bobbing her head and shit and doing this. Come on, Raleigh. I'll beat the shit out of you, Raleigh. Like, what the fuck you, like, what? That shit don't mean like clapping your hands doesn't make a statement true. All right? It doesn't make it more true because you're clapping your hands away and bobbing your head or whatever the fuck you be doing. Like moving your head like that. You should have moved your head, okay, in that sparring session. Because according to Dave Santos, your trainer told you the reason you got knocked down because you had a chin up. You squared up, you had a chin up, and you got knocked down. Right? And here's the other part. She admits that she went to her car, got a knife, and wanted to stab Derek Santos. Like, you admitted that. She admits that she grabbed a knife and wanted to stab a trainer because she believed that the padding was taken out. This is unbelievable to me. And you're telling me, like John David Jackson would have witnessed like no padding on the gloves, and he just like he just went he just never said anything about it and just moved on. You said nothing about it before the fight, after the fight. You didn't press charges, nothing. We're just supposed to take her word for it. We've got all these simps just taking her word for it. Like, oh, y'all, queen. Why she? I can't believe they did that to you. Taking out the padding. What a piece of shit. Like, what? Just taking her word for it. Oh, I can't believe they did that to Shields. They should be banned from the sport for life. You're asking for somebody to be banned with no proof. Just her word for it. You have to believe that she beat the shit out of a sparring partner so bad that it was so embarrassed that they then took out the padding from the gloves, right? And then you have to believe that she said nothing because it would jeopardize her fight. You have to believe that she somehow just didn't care enough to say anything after the fact. Okay, never pressed charges, never did anything, even though she said that she clearly saw they had no padding. Didn't take the gloves for evidence, nothing. They just let them keep the gloves, just moved on with their life. You're like, look at the series of things you need to believe. Me, it stops at I beat the fuck out of the male fighter so bad. Like right there, like that's it, bro. Red flags go off. Like what? You what? You did what? Like Shields outboxes these women, right? But when have you seen Shields like just embarrass a woman so bad? Her face is all bloody, she's all beat up and looks distraught, and like to the point where like she's just so embarrassed. Like she don't even do that to the women, bro. She outpoints them and outboxes them, and yeah, like they become gun shy and stuff like that. But she doesn't like. It's like when she was saying she dog walked Marshall. Like I scored it for Claressa, but maybe we have a different definition for dog walk. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I remember you against the ropes, Claressa. Like I remember, and you went at her too, but I don't remember this dog walk. Like you just walked her down, like Mattia style, and just fucked her up that way. You know what I mean? Like she talked like she did some Mattia shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't. Can somebody explain this to me? Anybody? Like what's going on, bro? And John David Jackson never said anything about this. He just let it slide and shit. And then we got people just giving it 2 cents. Like, I don't know, man. Because once Claressa shamed people, defending her for shaming the dude for hitting her that way, because she's over here saying, no. I don't need anybody defending me. I beat the fuck out of that dude. What she wants you to do is say that he cheated and took out the padding from the gloves. Because he totally needed to do that to drop Claressa Shields. Right? I am just saying. I'm gonna say Duran over Leonard fight doctor, but it's close. You know what I mean? Frazier's win over Ali is still very impressive. Fight of the century. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. This style, but it's okay for Shields to have sparring videos of her hitting people. If you look at those footages, bro, when she's sparring the men, like It's like obvious that they're holding back. I mean, which is fine because they're working with her. You know what I mean? I just don't understand. Of course, like they're working. And then I saw a clip. Oh, sparring for Shields hurting male fighters. Not once has she hurt any of the male fighters. She don't even knock out the women, but I'm expected to believe she's hurting male fighters. And what are we even doing here? You know what I mean? She said Savannah could beat up Raleigh. Like, I don't even like Raleigh, but like Raleigh would knock her head off, bro. I'm sorry, like he would. You're telling me Tank Davis respected Raleigh's power for a couple of rounds and set up the knockout, but Shields is just gonna like just beat the shit out of him? Oh, when I run into you, Raleigh, just watch out. That's a threat, bro. She's threatening the dude with violence. This is the same woman that admitted to grabbing a knife and wanted to stab somebody. So she's walking up to you. Well, what are you supposed to do? If it comes out that Rolly Romero knocked out Shields in some random like altercation, I mean, I'm not given the threat she's put out. It is what it is. I'm not gonna come out. Oh, Raleigh, you piece of shit! You hit a woman. Like, no, like she's threatening the dude. She is threatening him. What is he supposed to do? Claressa Shields is being a bully, bro. That's what she's doing. She's being a bully. Yes, it is possible for women to bully men. You do it by emasculating them or attempting to emasculate them. If you know, right, that a sparring partner is there to help you and you're trying to embarrass them, right, because you feel good about getting the best of a man and you go out of your way to tell everybody about it, that's a form of bullying. That's a form of trying to emasculate somebody. That's what that is. What she's doing to Keith Thurman is a bullying tactic. I could beat up Keith Thurman. Why is he scared? He don't want to fight me or what? Well, what is Keith Thurman supposed to do? If Keith Thurman goes in there, goes all out and knocks her out, he will be shamed by everybody, so he can't do that. If he holds back enough to just give her some work, there's going to be people, oh, she was clowning you. Oh, she hit you with a couple right hands. Aha. They're going to laugh at him. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to emasculate him. That's what she's attempting to do. Someone with sense, like myself, will look at it and be like, well, he was holding back. It's whatever to me. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the attempt. It's what she's trying to do. She's a bully. Okay? That's what she's doing. If I'm a male fighter, I stay away from Claressa. I don't spar her. I don't help her with work. I don't do any of it. Period. I don't work with her. If I'm a male fighter, I don't do it. For what? If you catch her with something good, she's going to accuse you of cheating or something because I never been knocked out. I'm a 3-time world champion, and I don't just get knocked down like that because you're fighting women that can't punch. Like, I'm sorry. When you get hit with a dude, it's different. You know who never got stopped? Lucille Riker. Go look up Lucille Riker fights a man. See what happens. It's actually uncomfortable to watch that fight. I don't feel good watching Lucille Riker get beat up by a dude. It doesn't make me feel good, but it's you know what it is? Nature, like the law of nature isn't pretty. When you look at a lion go after a gazelle, it's not pretty. Nature isn't pretty, guys, in its rawest form. Watching a man beat up a woman isn't pretty. It's very uncomfortable to watch that fight. For me, right? I don't get satisfaction seeing Lucille Riker, who I respect as a fighter, getting knocked out by a man. But I do ask myself, why does she fight a man? Why did she do that? But if you want to see it, go see it. You know what I mean? If Keith Thurman beat up Claressa Shields, it would be very uncomfortable to watch, bro. He would hurt her. really bad. It would not be pretty, and I don't want to see it. And I know there's a lot of, like, I get it. She talks a lot. Like, I think a lot of you think you want to see it, but do you really? I don't get satisfaction seeing a woman get beat up by a dude. I don't. I don't really think you want to see it. I think you believe she has it coming, right? But I just wouldn't want to see it. That's me. Everyone has a right to their opinion. I'm just telling you what I think. Like, she gets, like, it's just me, but whatever. I don't know if it will get sanctioned, but it would if it was like a exhibition and Keith Thurman tells the commission, like, oh, I'm just gonna go out there, I'm just gonna, like, play around with it or whatever. Like, maybe. You know what I mean? But it wouldn't get sanctioned as an actual pro fight now. You know what I mean? I don't know. Now there's another theory that Claressa Shields likes Thurman, and she wants Thurman to show her who's boss. But that's a different. That's not necessarily in a boxing match. You know, I'm just saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. Like, I used to think that maybe she just has a crush on Thurman and wants his attention and wants Thurman to show at least one time who's boss. Get it? It's one time who the boss is. You know what I mean? But that's what I used to think. But now I'm actually thinking, like, no, like, I think she believes she could beat Keith Thurman. Like, you know, like, it is what it is. Pay-per-view, I don't know, Fight Doctor, like 100,000 maybe. I have no idea, man. If it gets national exposure, who knows? But um, is what it is. Maybe Soldier Lopez. You know what I mean? Um, Shields has a way of, like it is what it is, bro. You know, like, I just want to just give her credit for her boxing accolades and watch her fight. That's it. Like, why can't I just, like? But it's all this extra shit, bro. You know what I mean? It's a bit much. It's just a bit much. There's a difference between, and I know, shout out to Shadow Ghost, by the way. Um, it is. I don't know, man. Look, I've said what I said. I don't know. She wants it there to be great, I guess. I know. I heard some people say, "Well, look, she has to have confidence in herself, and if she believes she could be man, that's just her being confident." Like, nah, bro, that's delusional. That's what that is. That's complete delusion. Like, this is nuts, bro. She's the only female boxer that I know of that is, like, caught up with this shit, bro. I don't know any other female fighter that does this. I just don't. The only one that comes close there was a time where Ronda Rousey was talking like this, but that's about it. Like I don't remember any other, like, this is not. Maybe I don't know. That's all I could think of. Well, Riker, I know Riker believed that. You know what I mean? She was bullying that guy. Now she tried to trash his character publicly. A lot of her sparring partners got to be having second thoughts now. She was bullying the guy. She was, even in the clip, you could see her talking shit to him. And, like, all the dude was like, he was asked to help her. This is crazy, bro. Like, it's one thing, like, if you're in there, like, I get that trash talk is part of boxing, and I seen it in sparring sessions, and I get that. But trash talking someone who's been instructed to hold back is bullying, bro. You know what I mean? It is. You know, Remy, what was that? What about after she trained with Nate Diaz? I don't know. Did Lucille Riker believe that, like, I don't know, did she believe that she could beat up a dude like, like that? I mean, and that's why she did it, and we saw what happened. It was like a Muay Thai fight. She got fucked up, bro. You know, but fight doctor, she wants to fight a dude, bro. It is what it is. I don't know, GG. I mean, I don't know. That's what it is. You know, you're taking it somewhere else now that it's unnecessary. Like I don't know what that's even about, but um, this is a Claressa Shields thing. Quite frankly, that's what this is. Um, but Blood gave his thoughts. If anybody wants to check out that video, Blood is very spirited in his opinion. You know what I mean? Uh, but you know, but I don't know. Ronda was saying some stuff, and like Dana White was co-signing it, and I remember, like, Ronda Rousey could beat up Floyd Mayweather. I remember all that. I remember talks about her fighting the men in the UFC because she's so dominant that it's unfair, so she needs to fight the men. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, like I don't remember Ronda Rousey getting a pass. I remember a lot of people shredding her. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Um, so that's that. I said what I said, GG. You give your own opinion. I don't agree with what you're saying. Like it is what it is. Retro, maybe she'll see the video. Maybe not, but she's gonna sue you. You know what I mean? She's gonna sue you. She's gonna sue everybody, bro. Everybody in sight. For those that don't know, Claressa Shields came out and said anyone sharing the footage of her getting knocked down and sparring is gonna get sued and blocked. Well, to be more specific, she said you're gonna get a letter of defamation. It's defamation of character to be spreading that video around. It took on her halfway around the world, so I don't know. It's going to sue everybody. I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll see. But yeah, she got knocked down. Like the story I heard is that she was knocked down. She was distraught and confused and didn't understand why she was knocked down because she never been knocked down before. And I guess just started accusing them of like taking padding out. It's the craziest shit ever. Like it's the ego. That's what it is. So it is what it is. Like I remember she was saying that a Mexican will never beat her, but in MMA, a Mexican beat her. Like, it is what it is, bro. Like sometimes life comes back and like it is what it is, right? But with that said, this is D Style. And that's that. That's exactly what it is, Karma. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts. Those that came in late, you could always go back to the beginning, watch the rest. This is D Style Boxing. Keep it boxing. I'm out. Peace.